What's up, guys? Hockey Dude 1940 here, and we're back with another episode of our New York Islanders BGM mode series in NHL 15. And as you guys can see, this is not where we left off, and that's because my laptop messed up. Last night, I tried to record an episode of GM mode, and prior to that, my laptop kept saying it needs to install updates, and it gives me the option to either update it or postpone to like a later day. And so I kept clicking postpone, and it kept showing back up, and I clicked postpone again. And then halfway through the episode, my laptop just shut down, and it just started updating. And when I opened it back up, sure enough, the recording was gone. So I ended up losing the first part. We simulated up to the beginning of January. Obviously, you guys didn't miss much of it. It's not like I made a trade or anything. I literally just simulated and pretty much talked about the trade that happened yesterday between the Jets and the Sabres. But I already made a separate video on that, so don't have to talk about that again. But I didn't even check out the stats or anything like that. I literally just simulated, so I'll just show you guys real quick again the lines, just in case you guys want to see. So here are all of the lines. Again, come trade deadline, if we're not the greatest team, or if we just want to try to make a move, we could try to trade this guy Smallman for another player, because remember, he was just a free agent pickup. I mean, he doesn't have the greatest slap shot accuracy. Puck control is only 80, deking is only 82. Offensive awareness is only 79. So, I mean, his, His overall is definitely inflated by categories like skating and then puck skills, having his passing and hand-eye both at 90, and then his shot isn't the worst, and 85 defensive awareness. I mean, he's not bad. I mean, 26 points. We'll check out all the player stats in a minute. Oh yeah, I forgot to show the defense. What am I doing? And lines. And here's the defense, and then obviously the goaltending. It's been the same 1-2 punch pretty much since we started. Alright, now let's check out the stats. Team standings, we'll do this first. I haven't even looked at this. Wow, so we are second in the NHL. It's pretty good. Eastern Conference, we are obviously second to Boston. And then in the Metropolitan, we are first. And we're not too far ahead, but we've got we got a couple games. We're a couple games ahead of these guys, and we have 2 games in hand on most of them as well. 1 game on Washington, like 4 on Pittsburgh. Yeah, so we're in a very good position. All right, let's go back to entire league. Our goals for per game, we are first in the NHL in goals per game. That's very nice. Goals against per game, we are 4th. That's awesome. So we're top 5 for both. First in the league for one of them. Power play percentage, we are 7th. Top 10, not bad. And then penalty kill percentage, we are 9th, top 10. So everything is top 10. That's pretty good. Home record, we are 12-5-0. And then away, we are 13-3-4. And then last 10, 5-3-2. So we haven't been too great as of late, but not bad. Alright, so now let's check out the player stats. Looks like Oliver Ekman-Larsson, look at that, 27 assists. I mean, we'll see if he can get back up to like 60 plus points, 70 plus points that he got in year 1. Maybe he can repeat, who knows. But in this episode, I plan to simulate up to the deadline, and then maybe see if we can make a trade. We'll see. Points, look at that, John Tavares, point per game, once again, 15 goals, 38 points in 37 games. Yep, yeah, very consistent point per game player, John Tavares. So hopefully he can hit it again. And he's 64 penalty minutes. Wow, he leads the team in penalty minutes. That's interesting. What's his discipline? He's at 86 for discipline. I don't know. I guess somebody's got to take the penalties. Wow, look at all the pluses on our team. Yeah, look at that. Every single player on our team is a plus. That's awesome. Yeah, that's got to be a huge part of our success right there, is everybody with a plus. And yeah, look at all the power play goals as well. So this guy Smallman has 6 power play goals. Game-winning goals. Simmons, Smith, Kapitanov. There's all this stuff. But let's look individually at all the players. First, the forwards. Tyler Toffoli is 36 points. I don't think he's yet to have a point per game, right? Yeah, 7. Well, no, he's been close. He's been close. Yeah, man, Toffoli, that was a great pickup from LA. Johnny Gaudreau, 33 points in 37 games, very nice. Ryan Strome, 30 points, close to 30 points in 37 games. Smallman, 26 points in 37 games, not bad. 13 goals, 13 assists, he's a plus. He's got 6 power play goals. Yeah, no problem with this guy so far. Spencer Smallman, welcome to the team. Wayne Simmons, 20 points, so he's on pace for his normal, 55 plus points. Bolesky, 15 points, and then the rest, that's just our grinders. Doesn't matter too much how many points they get. So now defenseman. Yeah, look at that. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 33 points in 37 games. Now he's on pace to have, at least, 55 to 60 points. Like you said, this is year 2. He got 70 points. And then he went down every year since then. So let's see if he can get it back up there. Who knows? And his plus minus is the best it's been. See, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and he has a shorthanded goal. Very nice here. Look at this. Oleg Kapitanov, the offensive defenseman. On the second line, man, as this guy progressed. So it's 3.5 stars in 3 years. It's 2.6. Man, this guy's going to get good. He's going to be good. He's already good. I mean, last year, 35 points this year. He's on pace for at least 40. Maybe even 45 plus. Who knows? Last year he was a minus 13. Right now he's a plus 13. I mean, everybody's playing so well for us right now. He's already got 3 power play goals. Last year he had 4 total. Aaron Ekblad, 15 points. Reinhart, 14. Hamonic, 8. And Hickey, 4. And again, they are all plus players. Wow. That's very good. Alright, now goaltending. I could have just gone one over. Don't know why I didn't do that. Alright, so Gibson is 26-2 with a 2.3 goals against average and a 92.44 save percentage. Very nice. 3 shutouts and an assist. And Kevin Poulin is 5-2-0, so not bad as a backup. 2.81 goals against average and a 90.2 save percentage. So, very nice all around. Offense, defense, goaltending, just everybody's getting it done right now. We are on fire. We're second in the NHL, only behind the Boston Bruins. We're better than any team in the Western Conference. So we can take that into consideration. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. GM Tracker, do we have enough for this yet? Yes we do. Amateur Scout, Pro, we'll go with the Amateur Scout. There you go. Alright, so our Scout is going to be that much better. Do we want to go with Assistant Coach? I might want to go with Assistant Coach. On in-game injuries. I don't know if I want that. Provides decent no, I don't need medical staff. Level 4 Pro Scout will likely provide accurate information about the top prospects. There's all the zones and comment on all player types. It will not reveal as much info. Alright, yeah, we'll go with that. I've never actually looked too much at what specifically it does. I normally just pick Amateur Scout and go with it. But, alright, so we won the first game of the season. I did the in-game simulation, and we beat the Bruins 3-2. We've actually beaten Toronto. I'm pretty sure we're 2-0 against Toronto this season. Yeah, we beat them 5-0 right there, and then the first time we played, as you guys can see, we beat Pittsburgh 7-1 there. I'll just go through all this stuff that you guys missed. We beat Dallas 5-4. We beat Philly 6-0 there. 6-1 win over Nashville. I mean, just look at all these wins. Unbelievable. And then that was only a 1-goal loss. 5-1 Tampa, 4-1 against Edmonton, 6-3 against Anaheim. Okay, so we lost 2-1 to Toronto there. All right, so we've played them twice, and we are 1-1 against them. So we'll see how we can do in this game. So we'll do the in-game simulation. See how our team performs. All right, so first period. Ooh, we're down 1-0. Or no, we're up 1-0. What am I talking about? I was looking at the wrong side. John Tavares, power play goal, nice. On James Reimer. Looks like he's still the starter there in Toronto in year 4. Yeah, we're in year 4, right? Yeah, pretty sure. Second period. Ooh, no, we're in year 5 now. Wow, man, that's gone quick. Yeah, we're in year 5. Yeah, because the first year we made the playoffs, got knocked out. Second year we missed the playoffs. Third year we made the playoffs, and lost in the Cup, and then year 4 we lost in the conference finals. So yeah, this is year 5. Wow. All right. Second period or third period. Man, I'm just messing up all over the place. Can you tell I haven't done this in like a week? All right, Oleg Kapitanov with the power play goal, and we win 2-0 over Toronto. I like it. I like it. All right. Oh man, this takes forever. All right, here we go. I can't wait to see how what Toronto does at the deadline. How many guys they trade away. I hope the Rangers can get a hold of Mike Santorelli. I I definitely think that the Rangers can use a third line center to help them out for the playoff run. Mike Santorelli, he'd be a perfect fit. I don't know if we'd be able to sign him in the offseason, but he would be a good fit. Right, Kyle Poso in the Florida Panthers. He's still there because I saw his name there in the beginning. But, apparently, he's not leading them in points anywhere. But Franz Nielsen is leading them in assists. So that trade worked out for them. You could say, if they gotten close to the Cup, no. But it's not like the two players are doing bad for them. You know what? Let's just simulate straight to the deadline. Let's go straight up to it, and we'll go in and see which players teams are willing to give up, and see if maybe we can add a new second or third liner. But as of right now, I don't want to change anything. But again, I said the same thing last year at the deadline. I didn't want to change anything, and we didn't, and we ended up losing in the conference finals to the Maple Leafs. But so far here in the regular season, we've done pretty well against them. And in real life, you can say that regular season and playoffs, you can't compare them whatsoever. But in this game, it's a simulation. You can compare. Against Toronto in the simulation this year, we've matched up pretty well against them. We're 2-1 against them. All right, so we will scout defensemen, I think, but it did say that it'd scout all leagues. Third round. Man, what am I doing? OHL top 10. Ooh, look at that brunette Shen. Looks pretty good, but he's already got the white star. Yeah, so I'll go to the WHL. All right. All right. So what else could we talk about? Trying to think. Deadline talk. Other than the Maple Leafs, there's not much huge talk as far as trades. Evander Kane and Tyler Myers are like the two biggest topics, and now they're both traded away. Man, I don't know what to talk about. I guess I could talk about the LA Kings possibly not making the playoffs. I know I made a video on it, but it's still crazy to me that they might not make the playoffs. That'd be very exciting for me. Just or not exciting. I wouldn't say it would be funny. It'd be funny to me. I'm actually just checking on my phone here, and they are down 2-1 to the Calgary Flames. I actually saw the Flames are 3-0 against them this season so far. So if Calgary can sweep the season series against them, or I'm not sure if they have a fifth game against them, if they can go 4-0 against them, that's insane. So I guess I'll look at the standings right now and just spot, some surprises this year, I guess. The Islanders, obviously, I didn't expect to be as good as they are. The Red Wings, I didn't expect to be as good as they are. The Capitals, I didn't expect to be too great this year. Columbus, I expected to be a lot better after how well they did last year, making the playoffs, being competitive with Pittsburgh in the first round. I really thought they would be more competitive for a playoff spot, but they are well out of a playoff spot right now. Third worst in the East, just behind Toronto, and they've played 4 less games, so Buffalo is in last with 35 points. Hopefully hopefully Edmonton does not get Connor McDavid. If Edmonton gets Connor McDavid, I'll be very angry. Even if they get Jack Eichel, I'll be angry. But Toronto, man, not Toronto. Why do I keep saying Toronto? Edmonton, they do not deserve another top 2, top 3 pick. I can't stand the fact that they get top 5 picks year after year after year. It's just, Give it to a team that deserves it, like Buffalo. You know, they deserve to get that. Connor McDavid. They've they've rebuilt really well. Can't say the same for Edmonton, but Nashville as well, leading the league with 80 points. I mean, who would have thought that? I mean, the record 37-12-6. It's unbelievable. I mean, Shea Weber, the rest of those guys, all the power forwards all that they have on that team, that James Neal trade really benefited them as well. I mean, just unbelievable year for the Predators and their defense. One thing I noticed when the Rangers played the Predators last weekend was their defense. You know, Seth Jones was shutting down Rick Nash all night, or all day, I should say. I'm pretty sure the game was at like 3. But yeah, Rick Nash had like 2 possible breakaways, but Seth Jones, pretty much bear hugged him. He wouldn't let him go. You know, their defense is looking really well. You know, Roman Josi, Shea Weber, they've got bombs for shots, or their shots are bombs, I should say. Weber's, I think, got 13 goals now in the year. Just scored again tonight. Just looking down the list. Winnipeg, I mean, 12th in the NHL. Who would have thought they would be, top half of the NHL? Same with Calgary. They're right on the 15th spot. Boston, the President's Trophy winners last year. They're in a playoff spot, but they're in the second wild card spot. So that's interesting. Expected them to do better for sure. Colorado, Dallas. These teams I expected to do better as well. Just this year overall has just been crazy. A lot of things I really didn't expect. As far as standings and individual player stats and stuff like that. I mean, even as a Rangers fan, I wouldn't have thought in a million years that Rick Nash would have led the league in goals this year. He's 34 goals right now, leads the NHL, and he's played 2 less games than Ovechkin, who has 1 less goal. I mean, unbelievable year for Rick Nash, and it's not just goals that he scored. He's also got 4 assists in the last 2 games, and he's been playing extremely well. Well, he's always been a good defensive player, but he's playing very well defensively. He's out there for penalty kill, power play. He just does everything, and he's gotten a lot quicker. He really got in shape this offseason. And last year he was dealing with concussion issues. His wife had a baby, and ever since then he's been a lot better. It's an unbelievable year for Rick Nash. Now, speaking of Rick Nash, we're playing them right now, and we lose 3-2. That's great. But as far as point leaders, Patrick Kane is leading the NHL in points, 62 points in 55 games. Great to see Patrick Kane finally at the top of the NHL in points. Every year. He's never really been, like a 90-point guy. He's never been an insane point producer like guys like Crosby or them. But in the playoffs, he's just a beast. But this year, he's leading the NHL in points, so that's pretty cool to see. But enough talk about the real NHL, and let's get to the virtual NHL, year 5 of the Islanders. So we're at the deadline. Let's just check out the standings and stuff like that, and then we'll check out players that teams are willing to give up. So we are still sitting second in the NHL, 2 points behind the Boston Bruins. Wow, look at that. Wow, we are second in the NHL with 89. The next team has 80. Yeah, so us and Boston are definitely at the top of the food chain right now. Nobody else is even close. That's crazy. Yeah, the Western Conference, the top team in the West is 77, when the top team in the East has 91. Wow, so yeah, the East is definitely the better conference. Yeah, that's crazy. Alright, so let's look at the individual stuff. Goals for per game. So we actually dropped. We were now 5th. I think we were at like 3.6 or something crazy before. So we've dropped a little bit, but we're still top 5 in the NHL, so I'm not going to complain. Goals against went up, so we're now at 2.41, second only behind Boston. And actually, did Boston have the best goals? Look at that, Boston. You know what? I'm actually going to look at Boston's roster after this, because they're never usually a very good team in the simulation in this game. Right now, they are first in the NHL in goals for and goals against. That's unbelievable. Power play percentage, we are 11th, so that went down. Not that trained. Penalty kill percentage 13th. That went down as well. Home record, away record, last 10, 6, 3, and 1. So our percentages are going down a little bit, but that's only because the season is getting longer. Before we checked, only a couple of months in. So let's check out the player stats. And then we'll check out the Boston Bruins lines, because they are just tearing up the NHL right now. I mean, we're only 2 points behind them, but individual categories, they're at the top. Right, points, Tavares, look at that, 69 points in 64 games, so he's over point per game right now. 30 goals, 39 assists. Toffoli, so he's not quite point per game, but that's fine. I mean, 50 points, 50-plus points from both of the wingers in that line. Strome has 50 points. Oliver Ekman-Larsson almost 50 points. Yes, it looks like he's going to have a good 55, maybe even 60 points, which is unbelievable for Ekman-Larsson. Smallman has 42 points, 24 goals, so he's been doing very well. Kapitanov almost 40 points. Simmons almost 40 points. Ekblad 30, Smith 20. And here's the rest of the team. Plus minus. Some pluses. Now you're starting to see a couple of minuses, but for the most part, we're all pluses still. The goaltending, Gibson 34, 14, and 2. Poulin is 8, 3, and 0. Goals against average pretty similar for the two players, and save percentage is pretty similar. On shutouts, Gibson has 5 shutouts. And you look at his past stats, goals against average. It's actually the best it's been. This could be a career year for Gibson. Look at this. Yeah, his numbers are better. Yeah, this could be we could be watching a career year right now for John Gibson. We don't even realize it. So now let's check out the Boston Bruins lines, because they're tearing it up this year. Boston. I guess we can go through all the teams. Yeah, let's go through all the teams actually, because we're a few years in now. So Anaheim, it's pretty good. Yeah, no, I don't want to go through all the teams. That'll take too long. We'll do that in a whole nother video. I just want to check out Boston right now. So first line, Lucic, Bergeron, Marchand. So not very different from what they have at the beginning. Louis Eriksson, Krejci, Riley Smith, Damian Brunner, Spooner, O'Connor, Kokolachev, Holland, and Condra. So nothing outstanding. Not the best team I've ever seen. I don't know how they're doing so well. Defense, Morrow, Dougie Hamilton, Krug, Martin. That's not Paul Martin. That's another Martin. Lazarus and McQuaid. Again, other than Dougie Hamilton, nothing special. And then in the net, I mean, Tuukka Rask, wow. Tuukka Rask's 92 and Subban 89. Why have they not traded one of those two guys? Trade away Subban, trade away Rask, trade one of them. Get another defenseman, get another left-handed superstar defenseman instead of one of those two goalies. There's no need to have two superstar goalies like that. Alright, so those are the Boston Bruins lines. Didn't look too spectacular. Let me just check and see if they're our captains are right. Who are the leaders of the Bruins right now? Patrice Bergeron is their captain. Krejci and Lucic are their alternates. That's what I would expect. And if we have to face them in the playoffs, that could be a pretty competitive series, to say the least. But as far as the standings go, it wouldn't be until the Eastern Final, which would be just an amazing final. All right. So let's check out the teams. Let's see what players the teams are willing to give up. Anaheim's go to skaters giving away. All right, so Emerson Edom and Ryan Kessler. So it looks like the Canucks are definitely sellers at the deadline. They're getting rid of two superstars pretty much right here. I don't know why they'd want to get rid of Edom. I mean, it's 26-year-old, 88 overall sniper. I don't know why they would want to give him up. Looks like a very solid player. And Ryan Kessler, I'd imagine, yeah, he's 34 years old. I can imagine why they'd want to trade Kessler while he's still got got some overall. I mean, I'm not going to say it. I mean, if we were going to go for the Stanley Cup this year, Kessler would definitely be an option. Or not an option. I mean, he would be a player we'd obviously want to try to go after. But if I were to go after Ryan Kessler, it would have to be something like, we'd have to trade away like the Call, Smallman. We'd have to trade away some of our youngsters. I mean, it would have to be like Michael Dowcall, Smallman, and like a draft pick or something. Or maybe Smallman, Corborsele in a draft. I mean, it could happen. We could possibly make it go through. If we were going for the Stanley Cup, Kessler would be a great player. But I think it's going to be too much. I think it'll be too much to try to go after. So we'll see. Zbigniew Mikalik, 74 overall. I don't think anybody's going to go after him. Bathgate, go by overall. Buffalo, Matt Molson is available. See, this is the type of player I'm thinking of. Maybe trade Smallman for another, or trade away another young player for just an experienced, guy like Matt Molson that could get it done. Jordan Eberle on a Calgary. They want to deal him. Mark Giordano. Duncan Keith, 85 overall. Wow, so he's still got his defensive awareness, though, and his offensive awareness. Wow, look at his passing. 78 for passing. That went down. Physical doesn't look very good. And shooting doesn't look... Yeah, man, Duncan Keith has really deteriorated over time. Wow. His defensive category isn't the worst, but everything else is just gone. Oh, man, poor Duncan Keith. Is this Brad Richards? Oh, my God, Brad Richards, what happened? Oh, holy crap, man. 71 overall. Why are you still playing? 2-star potential. He's in the minors. 71 overall. Oh, he's making $0.92 million. He's on a 2-way contract. He's still got 2 years left on the deal as well. Oh, man. What's the point of that? Oh, Brad Richards. What happened, buddy? Oh, man. Poor guy. Man, I really wish this would stay sorted on overall. Trevor Daley, Alex Goligoski. All right, so we got some defensemen there. Alex Hemsky, Peverly, Detroit, Kindle, Quincy, Nicholas Cronwall, 81 overall. Yeah, we're getting into those years, boys. 3-star potential. Still not a terrible defensive category, but yeah, everything else is gone. Even his physical category isn't the great. It's only 81 strength for Cronwall. Man, yeah, these players that are at the top of the NHL right now, they're getting older. All right, nothing in L.A. Minnesota, nothing. Montreal, nothing. Nashville, just a bunch of grinders. Lee Stepniak, 2-2. Ooh, look at the Rangers. They're getting rid of 2 30-year-olds. Mets, Zuccarello, and Carl Hagelin. I don't think I want either of these guys just because they're both playmakers. And we don't need a playmaker. If I'm going to get another player for the second line, it's going to be a sniper. We already have Ryan Strome. There's our playmaker. I mean, maybe for the first line, maybe bump down Johnny Gaudreau and put a guy like Zuccarello on the first line. He's got 1 year left on his deal. I mean, it would be something like this. Hold on, let me just go to all skaters. Because we do have some players that I wouldn't mind trading. Some young players, I mean. Like this Corborsele guy. I mean, he's 75 overall. I mean, just as an example. It would be like Corborsele and like a second-round pick or something like that for Zuccarello. We move Zuccarello to the top line with Tavares and Toffoli because those are 2 snipers. Move Gaudreau down to play with Strome and Simmons, and there you go. But I don't know if I want to do that. Alright, so Ottawa. Who's this? Nightingale. No, I'm not going for a prospect. Kel Grabowski on Philly. Sharks have nothing. The Blues. They got this guy, Giroux, down there. Tampa Bay, nobody. Toronto, nope. Wow, look at Zach Cassian. He got to 86 overall. Power forward, interesting. Interesting. Now we don't need Zach Cassian. Alexander Edler, 85. Daniel Steen. Daniel Sedin, we could get him real cheap. Let's just see his stats, though. Just make sure he's not bad. His puck skills is still really good. 86 offensive awareness isn't bad. Defensive awareness isn't bad. It's really just his physical and his skating that brings him down. Daniel Sedin would be a good example of a player to possibly put on the second line. He wouldn't cost much either. I can see Daniel Sedin not going for more than just like a second-round pick and maybe something else little. We could get Daniel Sedin for pretty cheap. So Daniel Sedin, I think, could be a good option if we want to do that. Washington, bunch of prospects, and then finally Winnipeg. Ooh, Winnipeg is selling everybody. Look at this, selling Blake Wheeler, Andrew Ladd, Dustin Byfuglien, Michael Frolik, Matthew Perreault, and Grant Glitzen. Yeah, they're selling everybody. All right, so those are all the players that teams are willing to give up. So let me know which options you guys think are the best. I think Daniel Sedin is the most intriguing option just because we can get him really cheap. And he's a veteran player. Daniel Sedin, this could be his last season in the NHL. Actually, wait. One more thing I wanted. I want the GM tracker. I want to check, is this the last year in his deal? Because that could be a deal breaker if he still has 2 years left. Is this the last year in his contract? Where is he? Daniel. Let's just see. Yes, this is the final year of his deal. So, Daniel Sedin, and it's realistic because Vancouver, I don't think they're a playoff team. They're selling. They want to give him up, and Daniel Sedin, he has not won a cup yet in his career. So obviously, he would want to come to a team like the Islanders, play in the second line, maybe even the first line, and try to win a Stanley Cup. It would make sense. And like I said, we can get him really cheap. We could get him for a second-round pick, and something little. For example, like that. This guy's got a little bit. This guy's got 4-star potential, but like this Poli guy. We could trade Poli and a second, and I think that could go through. I think that could definitely work. We can easily just acquire Daniel Sedin, and we definitely have the cap space. We'd still have $8.9 million in cap space, and it's the final year of his deal. So I really don't see any wrong in trading for Daniel Sedin, and it's not even like we're giving up Smallman. We can move Smallman down to the third line, possibly add some scoring on that third line. Well, there's many things that we can do. I'll just show you guys what the lines would look like. Basically, we put Daniel Sedin here on the second line, put Smallman down here to the third line, maybe move Zach Smith down, maybe scratch Clutterbuck or I think I'd scratch Clutterbuck. Just adds more goal scoring down in the bottom half. Or you can just argue that our team is second in the NHL and we shouldn't move anything. We shouldn't make any deal whatsoever. Even if we're not getting anything, even if we're not giving anything up, we shouldn't mess with the chemistry. But again, we said the same thing last year and we didn't win the cup. And ultimately the goal is to win the Stanley Cup. And if the mindset is wait until Anthony Danner and Manny Heatley are better and in the 90s or high 80s, that could take still a couple of years. I still want to be competitive for the cup right now. I think we're a team, like I said, we have a great core of players right now, a great young core, and then a bunch of reinforcement, prospects coming up still. So I think we can be competitive for the Stanley Cup for the next 5 to 10 years straight, including this year. So let me know in the comments what you guys think we should do. Should we trade for a guy like Daniel Sedin, or should we keep the lines the same? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.